Weekend of February 28th to March 1st, 2026 rewrites the NASCAR history books as Tyler Reddick became the first driver in the sport's 78-year history to open a Cup Series season with 3 consecutive victories. While Reddick dominated the hills of Austin at the Circuit of the Americas, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series made its own history as well this season. Uh, NASCAR had its inaugural street course race in St. Petersburg, where Layne Riggs secured a fuel mileage thriller after starting from the rear of the field. The weekend also saw road course titan Shane Van Gisbergen capture his first O'Reilly Auto Parts Series win of 2026 in a clinical performance at COTA, surviving a chaotic late restart to lead a race high 31 laps. From the tight concrete barriers of Florida to the sweeping turns of Texas, the 2026 season has transitioned from a competitive start to an era of historic dominance. So, strap in tight, race fans. I'm Russ Fritz.
And I'm Nathan Johns. And
This isn't just
this
racing.
Switchin
This
Grooves is Switchin Grooves. Sorry. Hello, everybody. I'm Nathan Johns.
Fritz.
Welcome to
Sorry,
the show.
I had to change something on my phone here real quick. The volume was up a little too high. So,
You're
but
good. I
welcome
messed
back,
up.
everyone.
We're all here.
And I'll tell you, Nathan, we have to start with the fact that some things have changed, like the schedule and uh, from last week to this week, the weather definitely, but the speed hasn't. We just witnessed a weekend that felt more like a month's worth of highlights from the sun
Oh,
drenched
yes.
streets of St. Petersburg to the technical masterpiece in Austin. We're actually living in a golden age of variety in this sport.
I was definitely excited about this weekend. I really looked forward to seeing how the trucks would handle St. Petersburg. And honestly, I think they did pretty good. They impressed me. I thought that track was going to be a little small, but it's nice to have a change. I still don't think the Cup cars should go there, but I mean, good course for the Truck Series to have their historic first street course on. So I'm excited. I hope they bring it back.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
I thought it was pretty good, Nathan. It's rare to see 3 distinct disciples, street racing, road courses, and a historic three-peat all happen in the same 48-hour to
Oh
72-hour
yeah,
window. And we have a lot to unpack, and we're kicking things off with the heavy metal in Florida, the Only Bulls Green Flag 150.
I watched. I'm not gonna say I got the entire race because I missed a good section at the very beginning. But the part that really got me was the fact that they had, all the stars of IndyCar because it was a doubleheader weekend with IndyCar and then and the NASCAR Camping Road Trucks or not Camping Road Craftsman Truck Series. I can't talk this week. Uh, they had all the celebrities of IndyCar mixed in with the NASCAR field. We had Townsend Bell as a celebrity reporter, which I'll deal with the Fox broadcast later. But it was kind of nice to have a different voice in the box for once. We had Dario Franchitti in the Legacy Motor Club. I think it was actually Tricon Garage, #1. And then we had Jimmy Hinch, aka James Hinchcliffe, in the I believe it was the I forget what team he raced for now, but he was in the field also, so it was kind of nice to see him in the field. We had the return of Colin Braun for Ram calling truck, so that was kind of cool. And I mean, we had all kinds of IndyCar celebrities just joining in to watch. It was kind of fun, and the racing really wasn't that bad either. I have no mic on Russ. Oh, Russ will be back. But I think the biggest highlight of the entire weekend for me was watching the end of that race. I mean, Ty Majeski absolutely overshot the corner. I give props to him. He kept it out of the wall enough to not destroy the truck. It looked like he got a little bit of left front damage when he caught the tire barrier at the very end. But I think he dropped from what, first to I think like sixth or seventh. Managed to march his way back up through the field and basically finished second. I mean, I definitely saw the desperation move at the very end, trying to get to the eventual winner of Layne Riggs. But I mean, all those guys, they definitely handled themselves. I expect, 9 times out of 10, I expect the truck series to be a little bit more rough and tumble, a lot more. I feel like a lot more crashes, a lot more carnage, and there really wasn't as much carnage as I thought it was going to be. Um, Definitely a more refined version. I feel like it's kind of like what we had at the first Clash at Bowman Gray, where everybody was kind of feeling out the track limits, kind of determining what they could do. Um, but it was kind of nice to see a three-time IndyCar or Indy 500 champion win. You had James Hinchcliffe racing on the same track that he got his first win in IndyCar. It was kind of nice to see that. And then you have the trucks, the truckers out there slinging these big heavy trucks around. You got Jimmy Johnson on the box. Kind of nice to see all that. It was a nice change of pace. And we didn't have to hear Jamie Little the entire time. It was mostly Townsend Bell.
But
So
so this was definitely a pinch me moment for the truck series, though. St. Petersburg, Florida, the first street course race in the history of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
And it's their third race of the year too. They don't. I don't think they've ever. Well, they might have had. I guess COTA counts as the third race of the year sometimes, but it's kind of crazy that this early in the year we're having you know
A street
pretty
race.
decent a pretty decent race. Yeah, I mean it. Road courses usually if they raced at COTA get pretty crazy. I feel like the truck race was pretty crazy when they raced at COTA. I feel like they raced the old course, but it
And
was kind of nice to see a change of pace there.
it was definitely a spectacle, in my opinion, before the engines even fired. I mean,
Oh yeah,
the layout was very interesting. I mean, it was
yes,
1.8 miles of concrete, asphalt, 90-degree turns that left zero room for error. And the weather
oh yeah.
actually forced NASCAR to cancel qualifying on Friday, which really
So
threw a wrench
Kyle
in
Busch won the
everyone's
race and
plans.
I forget, gave Connor Mozak the pole. Had never really done anything in the
Yep.
truck series, got the pole.
They set the field via the competition formula, which is putting Connor Mozak on the pole for Spire, and it meant
Yeah,
guys like Layne Riggs had to start all the way in the back at 28th.
yeah. But I mean, he started dead last and worked his way to the lead to eventually win the race. It was definitely it was cool to see the IndyCar guys, which deal with way lighter and faster vehicles, basically manhandling these massive heavy trucks around the tracks. It was definitely a cool moment to see. I mean, Dario Franchitti raced in NASCAR years ago, and it comes back to do a truck series race, and it really looked like he hadn't missed a beat. I mean, you see Jimmy Johnson, who has raced a truck series race since what I think it was 2008, and he was excited to get back in the truck for San Diego later this year. I'm excited to see how what happens if, say, we get more IndyCar drivers to jump into a truck series race. I think it'd be cool.
Well, and Riggs starting 28th just made the story even better. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
Nathan, he carved through the field that was just a master class. I mean, he didn't just survive, he dominated the middle and the late portions of the race.
oh yes, he
I mean,
was. And it's definitely not typical for him. Like usually he's okay, but I don't think he has. real good stats at road courses. He's been there, but he hasn't been, the one to lead the field. That was usually Corey Heim. So I guess in the shadows of Corey Heim, Layne Riggs has been improving, and it was good to see that for him it finally pay off for him.
Well, he won stage 2 and ended up leading a race high 41 laps. So that was incredible. But that final fuel run was actually a stuff of legends.
Oh
And
yes,
he was literally shaking the truck back and forth, coming to the checkered flag, trying to splash every last drop of fuel right into that pickup while Ty Majeski was charging hard.
and he
So
still had enough to do a burnout, which impressed me.
yeah, that was amazing how they pulled it off. I mean,
And I think he did an entire lap almost at speed doing a burnout. That was, I think Townsend Bell was more impressed that he, ripped the burnout in second gear, driving around the track. At one point, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Ben Rhodes was quoted to have watched Fast and Furious to prepare for this race, which I thought was the funniest thing ever.
well, it was interesting. I mean, they went through parking lots, they went down streets. I mean,
It's not the
concrete,
typical,
asphalt.
definitely not the NASCAR typical street course. It was definitely something different to see him going across, a parking lot, which I didn't realize at first.
I mean, they went over a bridge that had a soccer field on one side and water on the other, and it was
They
actually
drove
kind of
right
neat.
along
I
the
liked
bay.
it.
It was cool, yeah.
And me, I wouldn't mind seeing the cup cars go there. So maybe this was a test, and we'll see. I mean, I don't know,
I
but
like it. I'm waiting to see. I think that since the Truck Series did good, it gives me hope for the San Diego course because yes, we're using streets in Chicago, and it was mostly just streets. But if you look at the San Diego course, we're going to be racing right along the water. We're going to be racing across the tarmac. I think this proves that the San Diego race could be something. Now, granted, we haven't seen the Cup cars do anything like this. We've only seen them raced on paved streets and over manhole covers and whatnot. That's only like half of the racetrack for San Diego. I think this was a test to see if the trucks could do it. The trucks did it significantly, or they did it really well. Like I figured they wouldn't handle it as good. I figured it'd be really tight and it'd be hard for people to really make moves. But there really wasn't a whole lot of laying the fender to people to get them out of the way. It was kind of just working them over. It seemed narrow, but it was wide enough you could get 2x2 racing at points. The corners were tight, but you could still make it happen. I was actually impressed with NASCAR making this move.
I actually did see a couple of guys make a few slip ups. Nothing catastrophic, but
Yeah,
a few slip ups when they would hit like the paint on the asphalt and stuff like that. Just like they were having at Chicago, because the last 2 years there they actually painted over all the street markings. So
yeah. Well, how about the turtles on, I forget what the last corner was, where they were hopping the corner right before they got to the final two corners. That gives me like old school Sonoma vibes with like the car tomorrow, just picking all four wheels up off the ground as they round that corner. I thought that was really cool to see how hard they were hitting that corner and just picking the wheels up off the ground when they did it. They're basically bicycling around that corner. I thought it was the coolest thing ever to watch that. And they were hitting it hard too. It wasn't like, I almost wonder if the next gen car could handle that because of
I'm
how
not
hard they were
sure.
hitting that curb.
It was definitely an interesting race, and I'll tell you, Majeski actually gave that one away.
Yeah,
He was
he went
leading
off
lap
into the last
62.
corner.
I mean, lap 62, he was leading, and he just overcooked it like big time. Missed the turn on overdrive and drove straight off the course. Dropped in 5 spots in an instant like that. And he
He
fought back.
managed to get back. Yeah.
Yeah, he fought back to second, but the damage was done. And Ben Rhodes actually won stage 1 and finished third, giving Thorsport a solid day. And Riggs of Front Row Motorsports stole the headlines. And how about the IndyCar guys? I mean, James Hinchcliffe finishing 10th in his debut. That was actually incredible for his series exposure. Franchitti was right there, running in the top 10 for most of the day until an unscheduled pit stop kind of screwed him. and dropped him back to 27th. So they didn't have a very bad day themselves, though.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. Money. I know that we've got dirt coming on this week. I think Drust is going to do that in a separate episode this week.
I know Volusia is on. I'm going to do Volusia tomorrow or Tuesday. Depends. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of O'Reilly, which will be the next thing we talk about. That'll be on Nathan because we were out shopping for a new truck yesterday. So
I had to watch the highlights on it because we were dealing.
Tomorrow we have to go pick it up. So I don't know if I'll be able to do a recap tomorrow or if I have to do a recap on both nights on Tuesday. So we'll see what I can do. But definitely I would do something this week for Volusia. But back to the NASCAR trucks. Now, this actually showed that these trucks can handle the tight confines, but it also proved that strategy is king. Riggs said in Victory Lane that he wanted to prove he wasn't just a short track guy, and I think he sent that message loud and clear.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed with Riggs. He hasn't showed a lot of speed on road courses. I mean, he's been good at other tracks, but road courses, I think, were his Achilles heel, and so I think he did pretty good.
But good for them. It was actually an interesting race. I had I don't know. I enjoyed watching the truck race this week more than I did the Cup race today. So kind of boring. But we'll get to that.
I had some things I had to take care of during the Cup race, so I have very spotty highlights on that one. It was pretty basic highlights.
I mean, I had a few highlights for O'Reilly, but like I said, I didn't get to watch it, unfortunately. So
the only thing I have for O'Reilly is Corey Day. You know, I hate having Connor Zilic steal the term, but he has a very valid point. Corey Day is the Timu Kyle Larson of the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. And yes, I said what I said, and I will not back down from it. He is no Kyle Larson. Everybody thinks he can man just about anything like Kyle Larson can. Yeah, Kyle Larson can actually win in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, not take out the competition to win. I want to give a shout out to Connor Zilic for somehow managing to stay somewhat neutral. I wouldn't say neutral, calm during his interview. He started the day having rotor issues. I think it was a left front rotor he had issues with, and from the very beginning of the race, he'd get on the brakes and the car would pull to the right. So just a miserable start to the race. I think in the middle of stage 2, they finally got the rotor changed, and he tore through the field. And I don't mean took 50 laps to get through the field. He literally was passing like 4 or 5 cars at a time. He was absolutely flying through the field. And we get down to I think it was 5 to go. And he's passing Corey Day. And Corey Day, I don't know if you want to call it a lazy corner or got tired of people passing him, but just essentially he pulled the Bubba Wallace. Rather than turn because somebody's next to you, you just drive straight into their right rear. Set Connor Zilic off course, basically ended his rally, started on the pole, fell back due to brake issues, and got taken out by the Timu Kyle Larson. I have nothing else to say to it. Connor Zilic is right. Corey Day is a hack. Just because he drives a sprint car and everybody thinks that sprint car racing compares to, NASCAR, we've proven Kyle Larson is great on dirt. About average on NASCAR. He's not, Superman. Neither is Corey Day, and I will stand on that. That's my 2 cents on Corey Day and the whole highlights. SVG again wins another race, another road course race. He still has yet to win the one on Sunday for the Cup Series, but he wins another O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race.
Well, for me, if St. Pete was actually about survival, then COTA was about the SVG show. I mean, Van Gisbergen is just operating on a totally different level on these technical layouts. He led 31 of 65 laps in the number 9 Junior Motorsports Chevy. and he survived a chaotic late restart and just pulled away from the entire field.
Yes.
So it's his fifth career win in the division and his first of 2026. And that made it 5 in a row on road courses for him. So
I'm definitely excited. I'm kind of sad that now he is Cup Series because now you can't have both because they limit the amount of starts you can make in Cup and O'Reilly. But I honestly think that if they let you run as many races as you wanted, he probably could rattle off quite a few oval races and road courses. We'd be talking about a completely different series at this point. It wouldn't be the Cup Series; it'd be the SVG Series.
so the other thing we have to talk about is the young talent that almost spoiled the party. Connor Zilich,
Yes,
actually, he grabbed the pole with a blistering lap of 1 minute 37.74 seconds, and he was making the veterans sweat. So,
I was. If it weren't for the fact that Corey Day took out Connor Zilich could have pulled off probably the most improbable comebacks I think I've seen in quite some time. I mean, I hate comparing it to Dale Senior going from like 20th to first in his final race at Talladega, but I feel like it's somewhere close to comparison. He just absolutely dissected the field and made his way all the way to the front. One other person I do want to give a shout out to in the final results. I got to find his name in here. Brent Cruz. Brent Cruz has never made a start in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. And he essentially just tore the field apart. He almost was Connor Zilic level, but in it, his first start was pretty darn good. He ended up finishing with a top 10 and finishing sixth. I mean, that's a pretty good debut for your first start on a road course. I mean, he's a truck series driver, but he just, you know, these cars obviously we know they drive different than the truck series. So the fact that he led some laps, a decent amount of laps, in his debut for the O'Reilly Albert series was definitely a cool thing for him. It definitely shows that he can hang around.
to me, Zilich was the talk of the garage, but
Yes.
COTA is actually a very cruel mistress. He was challenging for a top 10 late in the race. Corey Day will say misjudged the S's on lap 62 and just straight out clobbered Zilich, and that sent him right into the wall. Very tough break for the pole sitter, but Corey Day actually managed to keep going and finish fifth. And just like you said, Nathan, I mean, how about Brett Cruz, man, making his series debut, leading 5 laps before finishing sixth? The talent pipeline is actually overflowing right now. And
Yes.
Austin Hill finished second. Sammy Smith took third. But when the white flag flew, it was all about the Kiwi.
Yes.
So
So,
I don't know, man. It
hi,
was an
Chuck.
amazing race. But
I
it's
see Chuck
becoming
there.
a pattern. Toyota and Chevy are locked in this technical arms race on the road courses. And right now, Toyota might actually have the edge in pure speed, but Chevy has the specialists.
Yes.
So that actually leads us to the main event, the Duramax Grand Prix at COTA. Nathan, we got to talk about Tyler Reddick. No getting around it. This isn't just a hot streak. This is a historical anomaly. 3 races, 3 wins, Daytona, Atlanta, and now COTA.
Now wait, I gotta bring this up because I have to do it. Who was the one who said that Tyler Reddick has a shot at going 3 for 3 last week? I believe it was our last episode. Somebody said that Tyler Reddick has a legitimate chance at pulling off 3 in a row. If SVG has an issue that it could happen, I believe that was me. I'm very excited that I actually called that one.
I didn't say you were wrong.
I know. I just wanted to bring that up that I am the one who
I just
tucked into
knew
this,
Shane going in, he had 4 in a row
and he had
trying to
never
make it.
won COTA. That was the only fact going against him. As he still has that goose egg at COTA. He's come close. I will give him that. But he has yet to win a Cup Series race at COTA. I think last year, I think he finished sixth. I forget what it was the year before, but Tyler Reddick is the first repeat winner at COTA, which I thought was an interesting fact. I never knew that. I think we had Chase Elliott, William Byron, and I forget who the other ones were after that. I think Kyle Larson might have been one of them. Tyler Reddick, I know, was one. Oh, and
Chastain won his first
Chastain
race
and
at COTA.
Bell was one also. Yes, that's right. So, but I don't think we have an SVG win at COTA yet. So definitely crazy to know that fact.
Well, we did yesterday, and
Well, but I mean the Cup Series though.
you're talking Cup, yeah.
Yeah, every track that or every road course that SVG has won on or raced on in the Cup Series, he's won except for COTA. That's the only one I believe he has not won on yet. Because he won on every track last year but COTA, which is kind of surprising.
The race itself, I mean, not much going on.
It was kind of a stale race, I feel.
Yeah, not a lot of passing. Not, a couple guys went from the back to the front a couple times, which we expected anyway because of pitting and tires and all that good stuff. And I mean, the most drama we had,
front to back, and still got taken out.
The most dramatic caution I think we had was because Chastain lost a wheel.
Yeah,
and he was coming into.
Haven't one out.
I don't know. Obviously, Fox, they didn't catch it or show it. They just showed him pulling away without a wheel and driving down pit lane without a right rear. But
and they showed the tires sitting on top of the tire pack, but that was really it.
Yeah, you didn't really see a whole lot. I mean, I think there was only 2 or 3 cautions the entire day. So, other than stage cautions, but
yeah, I do have to say I thought the broadcasting difference, and this kind of goes with my story about Fox, is Fox seems to catch better cover or better angles of things that are not NASCAR. I mean, I'm going to kind of rewind back to the IndyCar race earlier today. They caught, I believe it was Scott Dixon, lost a right rear wheel, and they caught the onboard angle of him looking over, seeing something was wrong, and then you see the lug nut go rolling by, and then you see the tire go rolling by. But yet we couldn't get a Chastain, video of the tire coming off there. They have cameras in every corner, but they still couldn't get that one. I stand by the fact that Fox has given up on NASCAR.
They gave us one green flag full screen ad because they were trying to come back from the side by side, and I did see that it had some technical difficulty, so they went full screen just to kind of at least I didn't make us deal with a technical freeze up, and they cut back as soon as they had it fixed.
They're getting better in some places, but they're getting worse in others.
And then there was one thing, Clint Boyer was trying to talk, and he was just like, I think it'd be probably almost like, dude, spit it out, like get it out. What are you trying to say?
Today, Junior, today.
Yeah, like Billy Madison.
I honestly, I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen. I wonder if they're going to get all the words out of Clint Boyer next week during the IndyCar ride along. Because if Clint Boyer can go, goes on this, ride along, and you don't hear from him the rest of the race, we might be okay. We might not get all the gibberish and nonsense. We might actually get him, scared straight for once, which would be kind of funny.
It might not be a bad
what
day
they need to do, they need to do that with the truck series. They need to send Jamie Little out there. That might be the most quiet truck series coverage I will ever hear. But, if we send her out in the IndyCar 2-seater, I think that would be fun.
Now they do have some ride-alongs here, but I'll get to that later. So let's go back to the race. Okay. It was an unmatched feat in the 78-year history of the Cup Series. No one has ever opened a season with 3 straight wins until today.
Yes.
Reddick actually grabbed the pole on Saturday and led 58 and 95 laps. And he had to hold off SVG in the closing laps of today's race, which didn't look like it was very hard for him to do. I mean, as Shane was giving his car everything he could, and it looked like the grip just finally went away and he just started falling back. I was
Oh
very
yeah,
surprised that Bell didn't catch SVG and pass him for second.
yeah. I was a little surprised by. I mean, Bell kind of had a fall off when he got the third. Is I feel like he used up his equipment trying to get past. I think it was Byron at the time, or afraid who was running third. I feel like he used up his equipment, and once he got by for third, he just didn't have anything left. And then SVG, I mean, SVG was there, and then as it went, he kind of had the Christopher Bell, or excuse me, he just kind of dropped off and wasn't able to do anything.
Well, I'll tell
I
you,
mean, it kind of like seemed like Tyler Reddick just found a sixth gear and just kept going.
I'm going to tell you, we all know that if Van Gisbergen would have had fresh tires,
It would have been over, lights out.
Reddick holding him off would have been like holding off a shark in a swimming pool. I mean,
Yeah, you can't run anywhere.
the strategy for 2311 team this season so far has just been flawless. You
Yes.
know, but today they actually flipped the stages. Reddick pitted with 3 laps to go in stage 2, and actually he did that to ensure that he had the lead for the final run. It cost him stage points, and that actually gave that to Ty Gibbs that took stage 2, but it won him the race.
Yes.
So
So I was very impressed with 2311. I mean, at least for Tyler Reddick's team. I mean, I think this is the first week we haven't had an image of Bubba Wallace crying in the infield over finishing behind his teammate. So
I'm
we'll,
sure
we'll
we'll see
take that
one
as a grain of
eventually.
salt. We'll probably be crying because he got penalized or something. Who knows? I think it's nice to see 2311 have a decent start to their year. I mean, yes, I'm not a big fan of Denny Hamlin. I could care less what happens to him. But with what Tyler Reddick went through last year, I feel like this is almost making up for it, almost redeeming what happened last year. I mean, his son went through a major medical health, issue time, and he had to focus more. He had to be at the track, but still was worried about that. I feel like now that that is behind him, I feel like this is 100% Tyler Reddick. This is him, making up for whatever he had to give up for that time. I feel like this is in addition to what he already gives.
It's
So
like
it
he's
was definitely
got
nice to see
something to
that.
prove, man, and he's gonna prove it. Like
Yes.
he's not messing around.
I mean, I don't think he won a
Man,
race last year, and now he's won
no,
3 to start the year. So it's definitely a
I
good
think the whole
start to the year.
team went winless last year.
No, Bubba Wallace won Indy.
Oh, did he? I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
Bubba, he beat Kyle Larson.
Oh,
That's
damn.
probably why.
That must have been one I didn't watch. But
Yeah, he beat
okay,
him in Indy.
so stage 1 gets won by Chastain, and stage 2 gets
I think
won
it was
by Gibbs.
Gibbs.
Stage 3 and the race win goes to Reddick, who, I mean, Michael McDowell was right there for a
Yeah,
while, but Reddick was just untouchable in that clean air. I mean, Michael Jordan was in victory lane again, and he was beaming, man. And he called the three-peat an unbelievable job by the whole team. And 2311 Racing now sits first and second in points with Reddick and Wallace. They have essentially locked themselves into the playoffs if we still had the playoff system,
the chase.
and can spend like, or could have spent, I should say, the next 5 months just experimenting with anything they wanted. But this year, it's not about that. This year, you have to stay consistent. So
Yes.
that's what I really, really like about what's going on now with this new format. They don't have, they have to stay consistent. They can't just sit back and relax for the rest of the regular season and whatever.
Yeah. And I feel like that's where a lot of teams are going to have to step up. there are a lot of teams who were good at certain tracks and not good at others. Like they would throw those races away because they knew they were going to be good at this track, and this track. Now that you can't, use those wins to get into the playoffs, you have to be good every single week. It kind of levels the playing field where everybody who was good at some tracks and wasn't good at other tracks now have to be equally good and push themselves at every track to be able to make it. I'm actually happy to see the chases back. I'm still curious on how this is all going to shake out because we haven't experienced this since what, 2013, 24? No, what? I'm trying to think when the playoffs actually
20,
started. I feel like it was 2014. 2014.
2013 was the last year for the chase.
Yeah.
Because
So I feel like we haven't
2014
had
started the playoffs, and Harvick won the first playoff system or championship.
Yeah. I believe 2013 was Jimmy Johnson. I believe that's what it was.
But
Because he won 2013, 2016. So it just shows that, it's been a while since we've had to have a consistency season. I mean, I feel like this is going to shape up to be the perfect storm for a, championship run to the title. I'm kind of excited to see this chase. We're 3 races in and things could change, but I mean, it's given me hope that we're going to have a decent championship fight.
But the way things are sitting right now, this should actually be a terrifying prospect for the rest of the field.
Yes.
I mean, even though we're not fans of him, Bubba Wallace has been running well. Road courses are not really his thing, anyways. But
after
on the
or he
ovals,
finish.
I mean, he's ran well. He ran well at Atlanta and at Daytona. I mean, I just don't know.
I mean, Riley Herbst finished.
I don't know what these guys are going to do. They head to Phoenix next week, and with the cushion that Reddick has, he can go there with little to zero pressure about worrying about losing the lead, and he can go for the throat on every single restart, every single start. They can push the limits. They can test some things out setup wise. I mean, they have enough of a cushion that they can do a little bit and kind of give themselves a sigh of release or relief. So, but if the Fords and Chevys don't find a technical answer to Toyota's package right now, I mean, and soon, we might be looking at the most dominant regular season in the history of the sport, at least manufacturer wise.
Yeah. I would like to bring up the point, and I didn't catch this the first time. Bubba Wallace actually finished 11th, so that is a pretty decent finish for him. I feel like his are kind of back of the pack, so I feel like it's a pretty decent run.
Who is this? What is this?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna guess it is. I did see that. I don't know who they are.
But whatever. I mean, don't really care.
Yeah. I was
with a name like Laundromat Tom. He probably lives out on the damn street somewhere anyway.
I feel like the Cup Series race was probably the most bland race of the weekend, but at the same time, it wasn't that bad. Like it could have been worse. I still feel like the truck race was the highlight of the weekend, and I think I'll stand by that. Is the truck race really wasn't, it wasn't the showstopper, but it still was way better than what we anticipated. And I still think that the O'Reilly Auto Parts race wasn't bad. It was a little tamer than I thought it was going to be, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, there we go. Let's take care of this dumbass that's commenting on here. Very nasty remarks. So
I don't even know who it is. I just
probably a Bubba Wallace fan.
probably. I mean, I was defending him, so if he's mad about Bubba, he could take it elsewhere.
What a bunch of fucking
Uh,
idiots. Excuse my mouth, but yeah, you just gotta ignore it, I guess. I'll take care of it later. But
yeah.
I mean, this was just total domination the last 3 weeks by 2311 in the 45 car. Reddick's doing a heck of a job behind the wheel. The team's doing a heck of a job executing on pit road. I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't. Obviously, we've never seen anything like it because this is history. But man, I got to give props to that whole team. I mean, not a Hamlin fan, but I do love MJ. So he was always my favorite basketball player. So, hey, for
I thought it was a
MJ,
good weekend. I really liked it.
hey, they're doing a heck of a job, and I hope they keep up the good work, man.
Yes.
But
So
I
I
mean,
didn't
that's not.
have. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot really I had to say on this race.
I
I
mean,
kind of
I
thought it
mean,
was going to be dominated, and it really wasn't.
but hey, I'm good if you are.
I'm ready. We're good.
So, uh, in conclusion, strategic implications of the March stretch. Um, I don't know. I mean, the events this weekend have actually established a definitive hierarchy for the early 2026 season. Tyler Reddick's historic back-to-back-to-back sweep, actually the first in NASCAR history, places 2311 Racing at the pinnacle of the point standings and provides them with significant strategic flexibility as they head into the intermediate and short track stretch. Furthermore, the success of the St. Petersburg street race and Shane Van Gisbergen's continued dominance in the O'Reilly series demonstrates a field that is rapidly mastering diverse, high skill environments. And despite the challenges of the hybrid next gen platform, we'll have heads uh, turning. Um, as we go into Phoenix, the primary question actually remains the weather, whether or not the Ford and Chevy camps can close the performance gap established by Toyota and TRD so far this year. I mean, it's been dominating. So, but Nathan, I think we're going to call this one a show.
I think we're
And
good.
I just want to remind everybody, remember, we bring you race recaps, breakdowns, and all those insane adrenaline-packed moments every single week. Whether you live for those sideways mudslinging dirt track sliders or the door-banging paint trading action in NASCAR, you belong right here. Hit that subscribe button now so you never miss a finish. Until next time, keep switching grooves. I'm Russ Fritz,
And I'm Nathan Johns.
and we're saying race hard,
Stay safe.
and we'll see you there.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.